Goeiemôre en hartlik welkom op GROOTplaas saam met my Elsa Esterhuizen. Ons fokus vanoggend op die Prestige Agri Werkerskompetisie wanneer Darryl Jacobs later by ons aansluit en 'n bietjie meer daaroor uitbrei. Maar dis nou eers tyd vir vandag se landbounuus. Eskom se hoofuitvoerende beampte André de Ruyter sê hy wil sien dat beerkrag so gou as moontlik iets van die verlede is. De Ruyter het tydens die digitale Afrika Nutsweek in Kaapstad gesê, die publiek behoort teen April volgende jaar 'n verandering in die betroubaarheid van Eskom se opwekkingstelsel te sien. Teen September volgende jaar behoort beerkrag aansienlik minder voor te kom. Hy voeg by dat die kragvoorsiener sy werksmag met 2000 verminder het om koste te besnoei. Die polisie van Stoffberg naby Middelburg in Mpumalanga is op die spoor van aanvallers, nadat 'n 70-jarige boer die naweek wreed aangerand is. Dirk Buys was alleen op sy plaas Hoedspruit toe 4 onbekende aanvallers toegeslaan het. Hy is erg geslaan en vasgebind voor hulle die huis geplunder en met waardevolle artikels gevlug het. Buys is later hospitaal toe gehaas toe 'n plaaswerker hulp ontbied het. 'n Groep hawelose mense van Durban wat tydens inperking hulle eie groentetuin aangelê het 'n kontrak onderteken met die kruideniersgroothandelaar Boxer Superstores om groente aan hom te voorsien. Die tuinprojek is 'n produk van die eThekwini Metro wat van stapel gestuur is om werksgeleenthede vir haweloses te skep. 'n Woordvoerder vir die groothandelaar sê die ooreenkoms sal voortgesette inkomste oplewer vir tuiniers en terselfdertyd vars organiese groente vir inwoners lewer. En 'n mielie- en sojaboonprodusent van Mpumalanga het die Transvaalse Landbouunie se Jong Boer van die Jaar kompetisie vir 2020 gewen. Die beoordelaars was beïndruk met Dani Bester se gebruik van tegnologie en navorsing oor sojabone op sy plaas by Belfort. Hy sê dat hy sy beskikbare hulpbronne aanpas, maar voortdurend daarna streef om uit te brei en te verbeter. Daarmee vandag se landbounuus. Ons fokus vanoggend op die Prestige Agri Werkerskompetisie. Darryl Jacobs sluit by ons aan via Zoom om meer uit te brei. So good morning, Darryl, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning, and thanks for having me, and good morning to the viewers.
Now, Darryl, please tell us a little bit more about the program.
Certainly. So the purpose of the program, rural development in the department, is around creating the space to coordinate a range of activities within rural areas. We know that the rural areas, certainly in the Western Cape, are largely agricultural focused, and that is why the Department of Agriculture is involved in that area. There's the aspect of coordination of different activities and different spheres of government, social facilitation, which is about inclusion of the communities in the programs that are rolled out. And then the key one is related to farm worker development, where we want to see the extent, and it's really about enhancing the image and the socioeconomic conditions of farm workers, because we know that across the country, and I suppose globally, farm workers are probably the key economic driver in terms of ensuring not just food security, but also the economic growth. And so we are focused through the Rural Development Program in ensuring that our farm workers are looked after, the status is enhanced, and that they are supported through these programs. And so out of all of that, we envisaged the competition, which really started in 2002. And I don't know if you want me to go on to talking about the competition at this point already.
Mm-hmm. And can you tell the viewers a little bit more about what the department is doing to support the agri workers in the province?
Sure. So we have a specific sub-program and directorate for farm worker development. And part of it is around ensuring that appropriate services in terms of our agri worker households are supported, their constitutional rights and legislation which is designed to support them, that those are instituted, that they are protected. There are referrals to appropriate governmental agencies that are in place. And that is why, as part of our social facilitation program, we also want our agri workers to feel an integral part of the solution. So we have an agri worker household census that we have rolled out, which helps to identify exactly where the particular needs are. And once the needs are identified, we don't just leave it there. We make sure that if, for example, there's a particular health need, or if it's something as simple as an identity document, we engage the Department of Home Affairs or Department of Health to ensure that the particular need is immediately responded to. There's a range of training interventions that are instituted, skills development projects, all put in place, established to ensure that their status is enhanced and that they are developed, and there are improved income and job opportunities for these agri workers, or farm workers as we call them.
Now, Darryl, the Prestige Agri Workers competition is one of great importance in the department's calendar. Can you tell us a little bit more about the competition and its new format since COVID-19 limited events from taking place?
Absolutely. So the Agri Worker competition has been going on since 2002. The Department of Agriculture joined as a partner in 2005, and in the later years, we were further joined by ShopRite as a partner. And a key part of the competition, and this was confirmed by an independent evaluation that we had actually done, was to ensure that agri workers felt recognized and rewarded, that their competition developed their self-worth, broadened their knowledge, enhanced their lives, and created opportunities. We had discovered through this competition that the agri workers, particularly those who had participated in the competition, and especially those who had won the competition, their self-worth had improved remarkably, but more particularly, they were seen as role models and leaders within the agri worker and agricultural community. Our winners of the competition form part of the Prestige Agri Worker Forum that on a quarterly basis engage our MEC for agriculture, where particular issues, concerns, and just ideas and thought processes are shared about how the conditions and status of agri workers can continually be improved. So this particular competition, as I say, has been rolled out since 2002 in Exeter Valley. We joined 2005. But in terms of 2020, which was supposed to be 2020, but unfortunately, COVID came along and we needed to readjust and re-strategize. And one of the things that we had done was to say, rather than have a competition which effectively pits agri workers against each other, agri workers or farm workers was, as part of agriculture, was an essential service. And so this was an opportunity for us to affirm and acknowledge the enormous contribution of our agri workers to not just food security and making sure that we had a plate of food every day and there was no shortage of food supply. And so we thought this was a wonderful opportunity for agri workers to share their remarkable stories. And so 2020's Agri Worker competition is more about affirmation and celebration of the enormous contribution of our agri workers to the economic and social well-being of our communities.
And it's so important. So it's so good to hear, you know, that you are busy with these kind of things or initiatives. What would you say are some of the key learning experiences during COVID-19?
Sure. I think that for the first time, probably in a long time, agri workers finally felt, you can say, included in the agricultural sector. For a long time, there was a concern that the focus was on producers, on farmers, and very little on the agri workers. I think now, for the first time, if you go into the communities within the metro, there's a greater recognition of where food actually comes from and who's involved in the production of food. So agri workers feel included within the agricultural sector. There's a greater level of pride experienced by agri workers to be part of the essential services and to continue supplying and ensuring food security, not just in the Western Cape, not just in the country, but also internationally, because a large proportion of our agricultural produce is exported. And there's no doubt there's been an improved relationship between producers and agri workers, between employer and employee, as well as the landowner and occupier, especially during this pandemic. So I think there's been an enormous impact and enormous recognition of the critically important role played by agri workers or farm workers within the economy and food security within not just the Western Cape, but also South Africa.
Absolutely. Is there anything else that you would like to share or point out at this stage?
Certainly. I think firstly, we start today 5 days of mourning out of respect and recognition of those who have passed on or those who have been impacted by COVID-19. And I want to call on all farm workers, everyone in the agricultural sector, to embrace these 5 days of mourning. But more particularly, especially as we go into Black Friday and prepare for Black Friday, to make sure that at all times we mask up, we sanitize, we keep social distance. We cannot afford as a country to go through another phase of lockdown. The responsibility is on all of us to make sure that we protect each other, we respect each other, and we maintain the necessary protocols in the interest of a healthy and sustainable Western Cape and South Africa. Thank you very much.
Darryl, thank you so much for your insight and please join us again in future. Maar dit was dan Darryl Jacobs wat met ons gesels het en daai goeie raad met ons gedeel het.
Ry jy minder kilometer per maand, maar betaal nog dieselfde motorversekeringspremie? Dit kan nie gebeur nie. Kontak King Price vandag vir ons nuwe Chili omvattende versekering. Hoe minder jy ry, hoe minder premie betaal jy. Dit maak net sin.
King Price, motorversekering wat maandeliks verminder.
Daarmee dan vanoggend se program, maar skakel gerus môreoggend weer in op GROOTplaas vir die jongste landbounuus. Ons gaan ook met Johan Taljaard van VDT Prokureurs oor die regsaspekte van stropery gesels. Maar maak ook seker jy bly ingeskakel vir die groot ontbyt om 6uur en skakel dan ook Vrydagoggend in wanneer ons die geld wat met behulp van die GROOTplaas oes uit die ashulpfonds ingesamel is, regstreeks aan die 3 rolspelers in die verskeie provinsies gaan oorhandig. Geniet die res van jou dag.